on Facebook, we've been getting so many more views than ever before. But
I've
if
seen it. You guys are rolling.
yeah, I mean, we've gotten like something like 63,000 views each
Yeah.
month.
Yep.
It's insane.
So, while we're on, let's pivot a little bit, right?
Okay.
I have something else to ask you, but real quick, we talked about a little bit of your work experience and your background in marketing, and even, trying to pull this together. So I want to ask some questions that may, I guess, touch home for local businesses, right? And the first part is really thinking about balancing work life and your personal interest and trying to grow a business and trying to do this. Now, I see the route you took, and I definitely am envious, but any thoughts, anything you would share with our fellow, local businesses about that?
Well, I'm a little, what should I say? I'm a workhorse. Like I work.
Hmm.
I was just recently on vacation and I worked on the rally every single morning to a certain time. I have a whole schedule where I just I love it so you got to love it. If you it doesn't seem like work, it is
Hmm.
hard work, but it doesn't seem like work to me because it is something I absolutely love to do. Not everyone loves their job,
Hmm.
so that's one thing, but if you can love your job, it doesn't seem like a job.
Yeah.
So I take this seriously. I don't get paid to do rally for our first responders. I get zero and I don't ever want to get paid ever.
Hmm.
People say, "Are you why aren't you collecting?" I don't want to get paid because then I feel like it just it's not my goal is to donate my time.
Hmm.
Now I'm fortunate enough that I don't have to work anymore. But I feel as though this is a full-time job. So I feel as though if you really enjoy what you do, it doesn't seem like work. And then I think that it's really, as far as trying to balance it with your personal life, I
Hmm.
have a hard time with balance. I'm not going to lie. But I do work super early in the morning.
Hmm.
When I do the rally for our first responders, I wake up around 4 a.m. and I begin to work.
Hmm.
That's when I get the most of my work done is super early. I do work out every day. I do have a family.
Hmm.
So I do try to balance all that and I do shut it down at 8:30 that at night. It sounds crazy. I work all day
Not to
long.
me. Not to me at
I
all.
shut yeah, I shut down at
I'm an 8:30
8:30
guy too.
and okay, and then I go to
Yeah.
bed and I start
Yep.
all over.
Yep.
Now, when the rally's over, then I'm trying to concentrate on getting, the results, the total amount, then sending out the checks and do check presentations. This year's going to be a little different because I'm going to do it year round,
Hmm.
and focus it on year round. But as far as balance, I'm trying to learn balance. I'm not very good at balance because I love it so much that
Hmm.
it consumes me, and I would work all day long if I could,
Yeah.
and all night long.
Yep.
But I think you got to figure out what is the best time for you. When do you get the most work done? And then
Hmm.
just capitalize that, I think, and work that
Yep.
to everyone. Some people are night owls. I mean, some of my good friends stay up till 1 in the morning every single night, but you can't get them in the morning. So it
Yeah.
just depends on that person, depends on the job.
Hmm.
And then you need to figure out what is best for you and how you're going to balance that within your family need
Hmm.
and that dynamic. I haven't mastered the balance yet. I'm going to be truthful.
Well, anyone that claims they have, I would question,
Yeah.
because every time it's just like the nature of this earth. There is order, but there's also chaos. There's also things that happen that are
Yeah.
unexpected. So, and I think that's it's good to have a system, but then you have to remain flexible,
Yes.
and because there's going to be a curveball, it's going to throw you off your schedule. How do you bounce back? One thing that I found is I have to work in a block and make myself focus because I'm doing so many things.
Yes.
So, whatever the task in front of me is, I allot a period of time. And then during that period of time, the things that say, "Oh, you forgot, don't forget, email this person, call that." I have a notepad and I just
Yep.
write it
Yep.
down and I keep working. Write it down, keep working.
Notepad.
Yes, and you'd be surprised that thing is full and I look at it like these are all the distractions that stop progress.
Yes.
So So that's one little thing that I found that definitely helps me with that.
And
But
the other thing is if you're in the midst of something, depending on the job and where you are in that job, keep a
hmm
notebook next to your bed with a
hmm
pen.
hmm
Because right now because there's only less than 4 weeks away, I'm all over the place, and there's
hmm
so many things that pop up. If I'm on the treadmill, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And so I have a notebook in every room in the house that I'm in
hmm
my gym, in my next to my bed,
Yep.
right here at my desk, my home office. But I have a to-do list every single day too, and I rewrite it every day.
Yeah.
And for me, I like to cross off the things that I accomplished. If I didn't accomplish anything in that day, that means I'm not focused at all.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the other thing. I do keep this to-do list every day. I try to clean out my emails once a week. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I'm
hmm
inundated. I have two email accounts. It's inundated with people, wanting to be part of the rally or have questions, and
hmm
it's just incredible. And then sometimes, I mean, I'm human too. We all make mistakes. We all miss. Like I get an email, oh, you missed putting me on some graphic or whatever, and I apologize. I fix it,
hmm
and it's all done.
Yep.
But I am human, and I do make mistakes, and it's not a one man show of any kind, but I'm the one that's doing the graphics, the
hmm
sponsorships, the posts. I don't have many people on my committee, and the people I have are amazing.
hmm
But there's a lot to it, a lot.
Well, and look, you're singing to the choir because all that, the notepads, my wife
Yeah.
and I both have multiple notepads going. And I tell her, even the littlest thing, even the littlest task, like replying to an email or something that you just take for granted, just that took up time. And that was
Yes.
something that you got done. So make sure you're giving yourself credit on the little things.
Right.
So you're actually tracking accurately and you don't feel discouraged. But yeah, so you've mentioned, marketing experience, right? Previous
Uh-huh.
companies, and even now, even within the rally, it's not a business, per se, but it is something that you have to try to market. You have to get out there. You have to, kind of communicate with the community. Um, just from your experience, anything comes to mind, your biggest challenges that you faced in marketing in general?
Well, I have a fear of speaking in front of people, and I need to get myself out there more.
hmm
So meaning go to the chambers and go and speak in front of the chambers and the Rotary. And I've been on Weller Radio.
hmm
Jim Weller has been extremely phenomenal to me in the rally, and he has me on all the time. On WRDE Coast Life, we're going to be on the week leading up to the rally. We're going to be on WBOC Delmarva Life, speaking with Jimmy Hoppa soon. I don't have a date yet, but if I could get over the fear of speaking in front of people, I would promote myself and get out there even more.
hmm
So that's the dilemma, is that I have such a fear to speak in front of people that I don't put myself out there to market myself and the rally even more.
I don't know if this is completely on target. But again, there's a lot of a lot of, you're singing to the choir again. I get in my head about things, and I was joking with a friend that if I, like I record some of us filming the downtown Milford event, so I can share it on social. What we're doing out there, and I have a habit of saying dumb things. I like having fun. I like messing with people, so I'll say something stupid, and then I listen to it back. I'm like, man, you're an idiot, and so I don't want to share that. But one thing that kind of helped me from overthinking when I speak, when I put myself out there, is I can't say the name of the title, just for so it's appropriate. But there was an audiobook I found called "The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F," and really what it deals with is getting in your head about things that really don't matter, and that's normally kind of like the next layer behind. It may not be public speaking, it may be a variety of things, and it's really just the overthinking or whatever, overanalyzing, because you want to do it right, and
Right.
there's only one way to do it right. No, there's plenty of ways to do it right, and real right has mistakes. Just like when I started this intro, I there was a gaffe. I messed up part of the intro that I wanted to introduce your name, and I messed that up. So just keep rolling. It's part of the show. No big deal. I don't know if that helps at all, but anyway, it's
Well,
definitely worth checking out that book. It
yeah.
saved me,
Wait, let me
So
write it on my paper. Say it
yes,
again.
yes, the subtle art of not giving a F.
Got it.
Yeah, highly recommend.
Well,
Highly
I mean,
recommend.
that's why I don't do live FaceTime
Hmm. Hmm.
because so if I have a ring light in my office and I'll do different videos, but I must record it, stop, record, retake. I could spend half a day just
Yep.
doing one little 3 minute video because
Yep.
I'm such a perfectionist and I don't want to make a mistake and I don't want, mess up or but everyone messes up and I do have to get that through my head that I am genuine and I have such a passion for this that I really probably shouldn't care, but
Hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
It's
Yep. So, the truth is that I heard somewhere that 80%, if we get something 80% perfect, like 80% right, and the other 20%, we might spend twice as much time trying to perfect, but we're not going to get twice as much return on that effort. And your audience probably never, like, if I edit a video, I do that. I spend, let's say, 10 hours on the first 80% of that video of getting it done. And then I start looking for mistakes and details and I start tweaking. And then I spend another 10 hours on 20% of it. It doesn't make any sense. And if I played the first cut, nobody would have said a word about it. They just would have watched me like, oh, that's nice. So it's us. It's
it's
not
us.
necessarily. Yeah, it's not. It's
It's
it's an
us.
unbased fear or an unbased
Yes.
paranoia, whatever you would call it. But so you think that's a big challenge? Is
I
dealing
think it's a
with
big
putting
challenge because I
yourself out.
think yes, I think that I didn't reach out to the chambers this year in the Rotary like I just felt as though well, my Facebook page has been great. I have this a good friend of mine. Her name is Anne Marie Brady, and she's been phenomenal in helping me. So she's been doing a great job with my marketing on Facebook. We've been getting so many more um, views than ever before, and it's because of how she markets it. I'll put the stuff out, and then she'll make stories, and she does everything. So,
Hmm.
but
I've
if
seen it. You
I
guys are rolling.
yeah, I mean, we've
Hmm.
gotten like something like 63,000 views each
Yep.
month.
Yep.
It's insane. And it's because of her. I mean, I'm putting some things together and then, like there's, for instance, we did a 5K. Lennar and Millsboro Chamber did their first Twilight 5K 1 mile
Hmm.
walk on Saturday, and we were the beneficiary, which I was so honored. And so I took a bunch of pictures. She took a bunch of pictures, and then she created this really cool video, which will go out, I believe, tonight. And it was excellent. And they presented us with a check for over $3,000,
Hmm.
and it was such a surprise to me. So I put myself, like tonight we're going to Spice and Tea. I'm going to be the beneficiary of Spice and Tea. It's a chef dinner.
Hmm.
So I'm putting myself, and I do have to speak too. I put myself out a little bit, but I need to put myself out even more.
Hmm. Yep.
And hopefully, eventually, I will. You would think I would be used to it by now, but I'm not. I'm just
Well,
not.
a little bit more experience and the book, and maybe the two
Yes.
come together.
Yeah,
Will
I'm definitely going to read the book.
So with that said, you talked about, that comfort of putting yourself out there, being on camera. You also talked about with a great result from doing it and all the work on social media. What advice would you have from your experience, either in business or this event? What advice would you have for small business owners that are trying to get their name out there, trying to tell their story?
Well, it depends on their business. But
Hmm.
if they can do, um, if they have a website, they can create a website that could also work well with Instagram and Facebook. They're the only things I do is Instagram and Facebook.
Hmm.
And I think to just depending on their business, it really just depends on the nature of their business, but putting themselves out,
Hmm.
getting their name out. I also pay for the Cape Gazette online, and I put a whole bunch of information out there every single day on the Cape Gazette as well. Um, just trying to find also key people to help market their business.
Hmm.
And those key people should be very social. They should be outgoing. They should
Hmm.
because Anne is that person. I'm
Hmm.
very outgoing too. I just don't like to be in front. on
Mm-hmm.
stage and have the focus be on me. I'm behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
outgoing. Like I like
Yep.
to sit in my four walls and do and work. Like
Yep.
I'm a worker bee. But I think with other businesses, for them to market, they need that special person to
Mm-hmm.
fuel it. They need that person to have a great personality. They need to know the different ways of getting to the public to get your business out there. And for me, I think it's Facebook, Instagram, and a website.
Last one to close it out, and this kind of ties back into the rally.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
So, one fun question, right? If you could be, or excuse me, if you could have any superhero power to help first responders, what would it be and why?
To help first responders,
Yep.
well, I would love for not one first responder to ever get hurt on the job, period. So if I can protect all of them as as a superpower, superhero power for them never to ever get hurt, keeping us safe
Okay.
ever,
So maybe like
because it does
Superman,
it
just
just
wrap it all in Superman, and I could fly like a speeding
yep,
bullet,
and
invincible, and
help
just go
them
save
all
them.
and
Gotcha.
save them all because they're saving
Gotcha.
they keep us
Yeah.
safe. But then not only, you know, if they get injured, it doesn't it's not only is it affecting them, but it affects their families. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just them,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
their families. If they die on the line of duty, it's the
Mm-hmm.
families that are suffering now. He's not suffering anymore, but or she, it's the
Mm-hmm.
families. The other thing is the spouses of these this first responders. They, what do they go through each and every day when their loved one gets called to a fire, or their loved one
Mm-hmm.
gets called to a domestic abuse, or a loved one gets called to, you know, a crash.
Yeah.
That is, that first responder spouse goes through so much,
Yep.
and the children. So it doesn't affect, it's not just the first responder, it's their families as well.
Yep.
So my superhero power would be to protect all of our first responders who protect us each and every day, for them never to ever get hurt, ever.
I think it's a great place to close.
I think so
So,
too.
anything else on your mind? I'm just going to remind him one more time and bring the flyer back up on the screen. But
No, you can click that QR code. You can purchase your tickets. You can donate right there as well. If you can't go to the rally, you can certainly donate. Right to that QR code. It's a tax deductible. It actually is through Delaware Gives, so it's all tax deductible. The rally is going to be incredible. It's going to be on Saturday, May 31st at Hudson Fields in Milton from 12 to 5. The um, gates will open at 11:30, and the rain date is June 1st on Sunday. And just everyone come, bring your families, dress in your patriotic colors, bring your pets. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be an amazing event this year.
awesome. I can't wait personally. And thank you for taking the time, especially the marketing stuff. Maybe it helps a local
Absolutely.
business person struggling like we do. So,
Yes, it's a struggle, but I think if you have key people in in those positions, I think, and the passion, I think you can do almost anything.
yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith.